Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Good
Mr.
morning.
Murr.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Would you please mute your microphone until I call your case, please? I'd like to first thank everyone for joining ABRA's or participating in ABRA's roll call hearings via the WebEx platform provided by the DC Office of Open Government. I'm now going to call Mart Liquors, case number 21PRO00031, Shodebach, Inc., 2931 Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue Southeast, license number ABRA 108836. This is a retailer Class A license renewal. And for the court reporter, I'm going to spell the corporate name of Mart Liquors. It's spelled CHO, capital DAE, capital BAK, Inc. The protest issues are adverse impact on peace, order, and quiet, and real property values. With the person present on behalf of the applicant, please identify yourself.
This is Chrissy Chang, authorized agent for Shodebach, trading as Mart Liquors. And I believe the owners are in right now, but I saw their face, but I don't see them, at this point.
Let me see. Well, Ms. Chang,
Mr. Dong Ho Chung, yes.
Ms. Chang, in the meantime, can you spell your name for the record, please?
Oh, sure, of course. My name, Chrissy Chang. Let me spell that out. CHRISSIE, last name CHANG.
Okay, I see Mr. Chung's name. Mr. Chung, can you hear us?
Yes.
Mr. Chung, can you hear us?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, would you please state your name and spell it for the record?
Spell.
My name is
Yeah, spell.
DONGHO and CHUNG.
Thank you. And who is present on behalf of ANC 8C?
Greetings, Commissioner Salim Rodolfo, present for Advisory Neighborhood Commission 8C.
Thank you, Mr. Adolfo. Would you spell your name for the record, please?
Yes, ma'am. It is as follows: SALIMADOFO.
Thank you. There are 3 groups of 5. I'm going to call the names of the designated representatives to see if you're present first. Is Joyce Doyle present? Is there anyone else present from the group being represented by Joyce Doyle?
Yes, Antoine Dotson. Spelling of my name is ANTOINE, Dotson, DOTSON.
Thank you, Mr. Dotson. Anyone else from your group?
Mindy Jo Barksdale. MINDY-JO. Last name is Barksdale, B as in boy, ARKSDALE. Thank you.
Hi, this is Joyce Doyle, JOYCE, DOYLE.
Thank you, Ms. Doyle.
And Robbie Pearson is on the call as well. Let me just make sure he can mute.
Hello. And this is Robert Pearson, Robert Pearson.
And I am Wanda Johnson, JUANDAJOHNSON.
Thank you. And so those are all the individuals present from the group of 5 that you're representing, Ms. Doyle?
Yes.
Thank you. Your group of 5 does have standing as a protestant, and because all 5 of you are present today, that means that at the upcoming status hearing, only the designated representative will need to appear because you've been granted full standing today, although everyone is welcome to attend. Thank you.
Okay. Yes.
And ANCHC does have standing as a protestant. We have another group of 5 being represented by Sharif Omar. Is Mr. Omar present?
Yes, ma'am, I'm present.
Okay, Mr. Omar, would you please state your name and spell it for the record?
Sharif Omar, SHARIF, last name OMAR.
Thank you. Excuse me 1 second, please. She didn't get the invitation. Okay, thank you. I have her. Okay, I'll go ahead and take it. Thank you very much. Thank you. Mr. Omar, is anyone else present from your group today?
I don't see them at the time.
That's fine. That's fine. What that means is that your group is granted conditional standing today. The ABC board needs to see at least 5 people in order to grant full standing. So for the purpose of the roll call hearing, your group is granted conditional standing. At the upcoming status hearing, at least 4 other individuals will need to appear in person. Any question about that?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. And there's a third group of 5 being represented by James Ray. Is Mr. Ray present? Is anyone present from Mr. Ray's group? Is anyone present from James Ray's group of 5? The group of 5 represented by James Ray is dismissed because neither of the parties are present. Is anyone present from the Association of Black Social Workers?
Yes, good morning. This is
Good morning.
Christy Love. Good morning.
Good morning, Ms. Love. Would you please spell your name for the record?
Yes, ma'am. Its first name is Christy, Kristi. Last name is Love, Love.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Love. So I understand your group is an association. Could you please explain the mission of your association, what it is that you do, your purpose?
Yes, ma'am. Overall, the mission is the liberation of the Black communities, individuals, communities, and families, and we do that through advocacy, social justice, and things like that.
Okay. Is your organization, it appears to be a membership organization?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know if it's incorporated in Washington, D.C.?
It is. It's a nonprofit entity.
Thank you. Okay, Ms. Love, thank you for that explanation. Your group, it's an association, but it doesn't meet our definition of a citizens association. It's a citizens association, unlike a community association, which represents the entire community, or an advisory neighborhood commission that represents the entire community. They're civic associations. They're not membership associations, and they have certain standards where they have to hold meetings, notify the public within a certain period of time, invite the public to attend. An association has to invite an applicant to its meeting concerning a protest at least 7 days before, with at least 7 days advance notice. And so the Association of Black Social Workers does not meet our definition of an association, and therefore does not have standing as a protestant, which means that the association has to be dismissed as a protestant. But
we did send a letter. I'm
sorry, go ahead, Ms. Love.
No, I was just saying we did send a letter to the owners of Smart Liquor, and it is initially open. The meetings are open to the public, and it is known for public.
Yes. Okay. So you've noted that for the record, but the association is not recognized as a community association. It's a membership association, and you just described its purpose, which is fine, but that's not the definition of a community or civic association. Your association is being dismissed today, Ms. Love, but you may petition the ABC board for reconsideration if you believe that you are a citizens association as defined by our regulations, and the ABC board can grant standing to your group as a protestant.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're very welcome. So we have ANCHC as a protestant. The group of 5 being represented by Omar Sharif is granted conditional standing, and 4 additional people will need to appear for the upcoming status hearing. The group of 5 represented by Joyce Doyle is granted full standing because all 5 of the individuals in the protest group are present today. The Association of Black Social Workers is dismissed as a protestant for the reasons already stated. The ABC board will issue an order of dismissal for the protestants dismissed. The order will state that you have 10 days to seek reinstatement of the protest if you believe you should be a protestant. just explaining to the ABC board the reason that you think you should be granted standing. Any questions about that? From anyone?
Yes, I have a question about that. This is Kimon Freeman. We have
I'm sorry, who's that speaking?
This is Kimon Freeman.
So, Mr. Freeman, are you a participant in this case?
I would like to know information on how I can be a protester in this application here with renewal for malt liquor.
First of all, could you please spell your name for the record?
Kymone.
And what's the last name?
Freeman.
Could you spell it?
Freeman.
And so, Mr. Freeman, you did not file a protest, but you're asking how you can be a part of the protest?
Yeah.
You can't at this stage. A protest has to be filed by the petition deadline. There's a deadline by which you have to file a protest, and the deadline in this case was June the 1st. The petition deadline was June the 1st, and so you would have needed to file a protest by June the 1st. But you may support the other protestants, but you can't be recognized as a protestant on the date of the roll call hearing.
And when is that?
Today. You're present for the roll call hearing right now?
But the decision has not been made today, correct?
It is, the decision is being made today as to whether or not you have standing as a protestant.
Okay.
And in order to do that, the first thing you would have had to do would have been to file your protest by 11:59 p.m. on June the 1st. Any other question about that, Mr. Freeman?
How can we go about supporting the protesters who have been acknowledged?
Well, the protesters, if anyone that's filed a protest that's seeking your support, can let you know, or you can offer your support. You all can work that out. That would be between you and the protestants that have already been granted standing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kimon. This is Sharif Omar. You can support my protest.
Excuse me, who's speaking? Who's speaking? Mr. Freeman, pardon?
Sharif Omar was letting him know that he can support my protest.
Okay, who's speaking?
Sharif Omar. I was letting Mr. Freeman know he can support my protest.
Okay, well, you all can work that out outside of the roll call hearing. So there you are, Mr. Freeman. Mr. Sharif Omar.
Thank you. I'm in full support of Sharif Omar and also Commissioner Salima Dufo.
Okay, well, thank you. We're going to need to set a date for a mediation, a status hearing, and the protest hearing.
I'm sorry to interrupt. My name is Lorraine Stanislaus. I did submit a letter as a resident to be a protestant, but my name was not called.
And for which case? For Mart Liquors?
Correct, for Mart Liquor.
Did you file a protest as an individual or part of a group, Ms.?
It looked like it was part of a group. There were several names on the list.
Do you know who the designated representative was for the group you filed with? I'll see if I can help you figure it out. But you signed, did you file an individual protest letter, or did you file one as a part of the group, or did you file one separately? Oh, I see, Ms. Stanislaus, I see you. You were a part of the James Ray group.
Okay.
Okay, you were a part of the group that I had previously dismissed because no one was present, but I see that
Okay.
you are present. And so what I will do is retract the dismissal of the protest filed by James Ray, Ms. Stanislaus, because you are present.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. Ms. Stanislaus, what that means is the 4 other individuals who are not present today will need to appear in person at the upcoming status hearing.
Okay.
Today, your group is granted conditional standing because you appeared,
Okay.
but the board needs to see at least 5 people in person between the roll call hearing and the status hearing.
Okay.
And so I have retracted the dismissal and granted conditional standing because you're present today.
Okay. Thank you.
Hold on for just a second. I'm going to have to get you the date for your status hearing and your protest hearing. But we can go ahead and look at a few dates for your mediation. The next available day for mediation is Wednesday, June 30th. Wednesday, June 30th. Pretty much anytime that day between 9 and 2. It could be 9, 10, 11, anytime that works for all the parties.
Oh, Ms. Laverne, I'm
Yes,
already scheduled. You already have me scheduled for mediation that day?
Mr. Adolfo, is that you speaking?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're scheduled already on that day?
Yes,
On
ma'am.
June 30th? On June 30th?
Yes, ma'am.
Which case is that?
Holiday Liquors.
I have you down for Holiday Liquors on the 24th.
I'm down for Holiday Liquors on June
You know what
30th.
it is? It's probably your status hearing, maybe on the 30th.
Okay.
Most likely it's your status hearing that's on the 30th. So status hearings are scheduled at 10:30, Mr. Adolfo. So if you wanted to come on the 30th, we could do something at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, or we can just move to the following week.
I would prefer the following week. That would be my preference.
Okay, well, let's do that. Okay, the following week is the week of 4th of July holiday. So what about Wednesday, July 7? Wednesday, July 7, anytime between 9 and 2. Does that work for you, Ms. Chang and Mr. Chung?
Yes, we are fine. What about Mr. John? Okay. Yes, yes, we are okay.
Mr. Adolfo, that works for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Excuse me, Ms. Fletcher, this is Joy Doyle. I have a
Yes.
quick question for you. Are all the mediations independent or are they individual with the business owners and Ms. Chang?
individuals. The mediation in this matter will be just between Mart Liquors and the protestants in this case.
Would it be okay if I request the 30th at 9 a.m.?
Yes.
Great, thank you.
The 30th at 9 a.m. Mr. Adolfo is not available on the 30th. And it needs to be a day that everyone can come.
Does
The next available day is the 7th. I mean, we could also do the 6th in the afternoon at 2.
Okay, but that takes me back to my question. Is it each individual group, that each individual protestant group?
Oh, okay, I misunderstood your question. No, everyone comes at the same time.
Okay, all right, then that's fine. We can do the 7th at 2 p.m.
Are you available at any other time on the 7th other than 2? Would that better for you?
That'd probably be better for me, or at 9 a.m.
Okay.
And how long do the mediations typically take?
Well, it sort of depends on how you move along, but you can, I would estimate at least 2 hours.
Okay.
So, Ms. Doyle, you available at 9 or 2?
If it's going to be at least 2 hours, it's going to have to be in the afternoon.
Okay. So, Ms. Chang and Mr. Chong, you available at 2 in the afternoon on July 7th?
I'm available. What about Mr. Chung? Okay. Yes, we are okay.
What about you, Mr. Adolfo?
Yeah.
Ms. Fletcher, this is Christy Love speaking from Association of Black Social Workers. I understand that our association is dismissed, but you said we can appeal. Can you direct me to, like, do I need to go online? Like, what's the process in doing that?
The process for that is that you will receive a board order from the ABC board dismissing the protest for the reason that I stated. That board order will give you 10 days to seek reinstatement of your protest. If the board grants you standing as a protestant, then you would be able to participate in the mediation on July 7th. The board generally meets on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So the board orders most likely will go out this week. So you may very well receive it in time to seek reinstatement before the mediation on July 7th.
Thank you.
Ms. Stanislaus,
Yes.
are you available for mediation on Wednesday, July 7th at 2?
Yes, that's fine.
Thank you. Mr. Sharif? Mr. Sharif Omar? He's still there?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? I didn't hear.
Is that you, Mr. Omar?
Yes, ma'am.
I was asking if you're available for mediation on July 7th. That's Wednesday, July 7th at 2.
I am.
And Ms. Doyle, you're available on July 7 at 2?
Yes, yes, I am.
Stanislaw, you're available? Okay,
Yes.
thank you. And Ms. Love, if you decide to petition the board for standing of your protest, then that the mediation will be set for July 7 at 2, and you would receive an invitation from me.
Okay, thank you.
Give me a moment to get your status of protest hearing date. I'm gonna disappear for a moment, but I'll be right back. Just a moment, please. Okay, so for Martin Liquors, the status hearing is set for July 15. It's July 15. Excuse me. July 15 at 10:30 a.m. for the status hearing. You'll receive a WebEx invitation to appear for the status hearing as well.
Excuse me, Ms. Fletcher, this is Joy Doyle. May I ask one question, please?
Yeah.
I would like to be able to share my email in the group for all protestants if they would like to reach me so that we can communicate with each other, since we're all concerned community members.
Okay.
I cannot send, the send button is not activated in the chat, so I don't know if you could release that or not. Or I can just give them my email address.
Yeah, you can state it now if you.
Okay.
You can state it now if you like.
Yes, thank you. For all protestants who would like to communicate with our group of 5 or more, please feel free to email me directly at joymdoyle@hotmail.com, JOYM as in Mary, DOYLE @hotmail.com. And this is just to ensure that we can have a collective opportunity for transparent communication. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Doyle. Any questions from anyone in the matter of Mart Liquors? Well, thank you for participating in.
Ms. Fletcher, I have a question.
And who's speaking? Mr. Freeman?
Yes, it's Come on Freeman again.
Uh-huh.
For the ABRA board, what is the statute of limitations? Well, I should say statute of limitations, but what are the limitations for the number of liquor stores in one given area? No one's been able to
So
answer that.
Yeah, I'm gonna suggest that you direct that question to our licensing manager. His name is Sean Gordy, SEANGORDY.
Can you put that in the chat, please? Because we've met with council members, we met with commissioners, we've met with city officials, and no one has an answer to that question.
Yeah, so speak with someone here.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Freeman,
Yes, ma'am.
do you see Sean Gordy's email address in the chat?
Yes, I just saw it in the chat. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, so, okay, well, so, okay, great. Okay, any other questions? Well, thank you for coming, participating in the roll call hearing this morning. The matter of Mart Liquors is now concluded. Going to call the next case.
Thank you, Ms. Fletcher. This is Joy Doyle. Thank you so much for
You're welcome, Ms.
facilitating
Doyle.
this meeting very well. It went effortlessly. I appreciate how you facilitated this process, and we're looking forward to working with you and Mart Liquor to resolve our issues. Thank you so much.
Well, you're
Thank
very
you.
welcome. I'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
All right. Until then. I'm now calling Fort Carroll Market. This is case number 21PRO00032. Ledetta LLC, 3705 Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue Southeast, license number ABRA 091423. This is a retailer Class A license renewal. And for the record, I'm spelling the corporate name is Ledetta, Lideta LLC. That's Fort Carroll Market. Carroll is spelled Carroll. The protest issues an adverse impact on peace, order, and quiet, and residential residential parking and vehicular and pedestrian safety. My name is Laverne Fletcher, conducting the roll call hearing as the board's agent.
Now you want to see everybody.
Would the individual or individuals present on behalf of the market please state your name and spell it for the record?
Good morning, Ms. Fletcher. Emmanuel Empress, representing Ledetta LLC. That's spelled E-M-A-N-U-E-L. Last name is spelled M-P-R-A-S.
Thank you, Mr. Empress. Mr. Empress, did the applicant appear today as well?
The applicant, I do see the applicant online.
Okay, let's see. Mr. Is it Abel?
Abale.
Oh, Abale. Could you please state your name and spell it for the record, please?
Asmamo Abata, ASMAMAW. Last name is Abata, ABATE.
Thank you very much. And present on behalf of ANCHC.
Salim Adolfo.
Mr. Adolfo, would you please state your name and spell it for the record? Actually, you already stated it.
Yes, ma'am. It is as follows: SALIM. Last name ADOFO.
Thank you very much. ANCHC has standing as a protestant. We need to set a date for mediation, a status hearing, and the protest hearing. I'll give you the next available date for mediation first.
Ms. Fletcher, if I may.
Yes.
I'm not challenging the standing of ANC to file a protest, but if you remember the last time we dealt with this, I'm contesting that they failed to state proper protest ground pursuant to 23-1602.2. And as you recall, the board ruled in my favor last time.
I remember. Thank you. Just a minute. Let me take a look at that, Mr. Empress. So, Mr. Adolfo, in your protest letter, you stated the appropriateness standard. Mr. Empress, what you're saying is that's not filing a protest. It's just stating what the standard is. Mr. Empress?
Yes, ma'am.
In looking at Mr. Adolfo's protest letter, I can see that he stated what the appropriateness standard is, but did not state that he was filing a protest.
Correct, nor did pursuant to 1602.2, which states must state grounds for the protest as to why the matter is being objected to is inappropriate, and that's entirely missing.
And so, Mr. Adolfo, do you have any comment about that? So, and just so that you know, Mr. Adolfo, in looking at your protest letter, it does state the appropriateness standard. All the standards are there, but your protest letter does not state the basis upon which you're filing a protest. So what's your response to that?
Now, we were filing a protest on its impact of peace, order, and quiet.
So your protest letter doesn't say that, although your protest letter does state that that's the basis upon which a protest may be filed, but it doesn't state that as the reason that you're filing a protest. But that was your intention, but that's not what you wrote, right?
That is the intent, yes, ma'am.
Mr. Empress is correct. The last time, I don't remember if it was it 8C, Mr. Empress?
It was 8C.
It was 8C. There was a previous protest, Mr. Adolfo, where ANC 8C filed a protest, maybe similar to this one. I actually don't recall.
Very.
But the board did dismiss the protest because there was not a basis stated upon which the protest was filed. And with that knowledge, and I do recall that, Mr. Empress and Mr. Adolfo actually recall that. So with that knowledge, I'm going to have to dismiss this protest because the protest does not state a basis upon which the protest is filed. Mr. Adolfo, you probably know that once you receive a board order dismissing your protest, you know that you have 10 days to seek reinstatement. I don't know if you did in the previous case, but you're probably aware that you have that option.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Empress. Thank you, Mr. Adolfo. The protest filed by ANCHC in the matter of Fort Carroll Market is therefore dismissed.
Thank you, Ms. Fletcher.
You're very welcome.
We off the record?
I'm just checking something. Thank you. Okay, thank you. The roll call, no other questions related to Fort Carroll Market? Any questions, Mr. Adolfo, about that?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. The roll call hearing in the matter of Fort Carroll Market is concluded. I'm going to call the next case.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Adolfo, are you still on the line?
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question for you. I'm not gonna. I'm not going to call a previous case where you're protesting the matter of Mart Liquors, but this is just for the record. I'll revisit that protest letter, and take a look at it and make sure that it has everything it needs to be granted standing. But you were granted standing in the matter of Mart Liquors.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. That's all. Thank you for coming. The roll call hearing is concluded. I'm now calling the case of Town Wine and Liquor, case number 21-PRO00033, JLC Inc., 1438 Wisconsin Avenue Northwest, license number ABRA 093813. This is a retailer class A, transfer to new location, transfer from 1326 Wisconsin Avenue Northwest, and change of hours of operation and sales. The protest issues are adverse impact on peace, order, and quiet, and residential parking and vehicular and pedestrian safety. My name is Laverne Fletcher, conducting the roll call hearing as the board's agent. Who is present on behalf of Town Wine and Liquor?
Hi, my name is Chrissy Chang, and my client JLC Inc. is present, and the sole officer, director, shareholder, Mr. Joey Chen, is present.
Okay, Ms. Chang, would you spell your name for the record?
Sure.
Yes.
CHRISSIE, my last name CHANG.
Okay, and what is the name of the applicant?
His name is Joey Chen. Can you spell that out, your name, Mr. Chen?
Yeah, Joey, Joey, last name Chen, CHEN.
CHEN?
Yes.
Thank you. And there was another officer present, Ms. Chang?
No, he is the sole officer, director, shareholder.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the sole owner.
Okay, thank you. And who's present on behalf of ANC 2E?
Good morning, Ms. Fletcher. This is Rick Murphy, ANC 2E03.
Good morning, Mr. Murphy. Would you spell your name for the record, please?
Well, Rick, R-I-C-K, Murphy, M-U-R-P-H-Y.
Thank you. And present on behalf of the Citizens Association of Georgetown?
Good morning, Ms. Fletcher. I'm Karen Cruz, K-A-R-E-N-C-R-U-S-E.
Good morning, Ms. Cruz. ANC 2E and the Citizens Association of Georgetown have standing as protestants. I'm going to get you the day for the status and protest hearing first, and then we'll set a date for mediation. I'm going to disappear for a moment. I'll be right back. The day for the status hearing is July 15. That's July 15, 2021 at 10:30 a.m. for the status hearing. I don't have a date for the protest hearing today, but you'll get that later. But the status hearing is July 15. I'll give you the next available day for mediation. The next available day is Wednesday, June 30, pretty much any time between 9 and 2.
Anytime that day is fine, except between 11 and noon.
Okay. Mr. Murphy, what about except between what time, Mr. Murphy?
11 a.m. and noon.
Between 11 a.m. and noon. So we have either 9 or 2.
Why don't we do 9, if that
9
works?
o'clock? Does 9 o'clock work for the Citizens Association of Georgetown?
Yes, it does.
What about for Ms. Chang and Mr. Chen?
That's fine.
I am okay. Mr. Chen, okay? We are fine.
Yes. Yeah, we're fine.
Mediation is set for Wednesday, June 30 at 9 o'clock a.m. Okay, any questions?
Just one quick comment. With any luck, we will resolve this matter before the mediation. I'm going to be sending a draft settlement agreement to Ms. Chang later today.
Okay, well, thank you, Mr. Murphy. If that happens, of course, the mediation will be canceled, and if the settlement agreement is approved, then the status hearing would be canceled as well.
I have a question, Miss Fletcher. Can Miss Karen,
Excuse me, Ms. Chang, I just want to identify who's speaking for the record. Go ahead.
Oh, yes, thank you so much. I would like to obtain the email address or contact information of Miss Karen Cruz, the on behalf of CAG president. I mean the Citizen Association of Georgetown, please.
Ms. Cruz.
Yes.
Do you want to provide that now? Or do you want me to provide it?
I believe we have Ms. Chang's email. I'll provide it to.
Thank you very
to
much.
Sure.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you everyone for coming.
Thank you.
And I will see you on June 30, maybe.
Thank you, maybe.
Thank you. Okay,
Thank you.
I will, okay, you're very welcome. I'll conclude the roll call hearing for this case and call the next.
Thank you very much.
You're
Yeah.
welcome, Ms. Cruz. I am now calling the case of DC Capitol Square Bar and Grill. This is case number 21PRO00034. Capitol Square Bar and Grill LLC, 1500 East Capitol Street Northeast, license number ABRA 118000. This is a retailer class CR license renewal. The protest issues are adverse impact on peace, order, and quiet, My name is Laverne Fletcher, conducting the roll call hearing as the board's agent. Who's present on behalf of the applicant?
Good morning, Ms. Fletcher. My name is Matthew Menora from the law firm of Malleus O'Brien and St. Ground, and we are ABC licensed counsel for the applicant. And I just want to note this is a new license application, not a renewal.
Oh, this is a new license application?
Correct.
Thank you. I just made that
You're very welcome.
correction. Mr. Menora, would you spell your name for the record, please?
Sure. Matthew is Matthew, and Menora is Minora.
Thank you very much. And present on behalf of ANC 6A.
Good morning, Ms. Fletcher. This is Nick Alberti. I'm a chair of the committee and representative of ANC 6A. My name is spelled Nick Alberti.
Thank you, Mr. Alberti. ANC 6A has standing as a protestant. We need to set a date for mediation, a status hearing, and a protest hearing if that date is available today. Excuse me for a moment. I'm going to get the date for your status hearing. Excuse me for one moment, please. The status hearing is scheduled for July 15 at 10:30 a.m. It's the status hearing. The protest hearing is set for August 18 at 1:30. At 1:30 p.m. for the protest hearing. I will give you the next available date for mediation. The next available day is Tuesday, July 6th at 2 in the afternoon. That's available.
That works for us, if it works for the ANC as well.
That works for you,
Yes,
Mr. Menora?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Alberti, that works for you too?
Yes, it works for ANC 6A.
What time is that for again?
I'm sorry, what was that?
What time is that for again?
Oh, 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock. Thank you.
You're welcome. One second. Mediation is set for Tuesday, July 6th at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Any questions at all?
No.
Well, thank you for coming, and I'll see you then.
Thank you for having us. Bye.
Okay. Bye, Mr.
Thank you.
Alberti. Welcome. The roll call hearing in the matter of DC Capitol Square Bar and Grill is concluded. I'm going to call the next case. This is the case of Max Liquors, case number 21PRO00035, ELU Star Inc., 605 Division Avenue Northeast, license number ABRA 116889. This is a retailer Class A license renewal. The protest issues are adverse impact on peace, order, and quiet, residential parking, and vehicular and pedestrian safety. My name is Laverne Fletcher, conducting the roll call hearing as the board's agent. Is the applicant present? Is the applicant present?
Sorry, yes,
And
the Civic Association is present, or I'm representing the Capitol View Civic Association. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong person.
Is the applicant present, Max Liquors? Who's present on behalf of ANC 7C?
This is Commissioner Holmes, Chair of ANC 7C.
Mr. Holmes, could you state your name and spell it for the record, please?
Yes, Antoine Holmes, A-N-T-A-W-A-N, last name Holmes, H-O-L-M-E-S.
Thank you. And who's present on behalf of Capitol View Civic Association?
Hey, this is Mandela Deskins.
Okay. Thank you. Would you spell your name for the record, please?
First name M-A-N-D-L-A, last name D-E-S-K-I-N-S.
Thank you. Mr. Deskins, you are one of the designated representatives for the association. I have a question for you. I read your protest letter. I can't tell from it whether or not your association provided the applicant with at least 7-day notice of the meeting that you held concerning the application.
Yep, Commissioner Clark, who is also on the call, was communicating with the applicant, but it is my understanding that they did get 7 days notice.
Thank you. And what was the name of the other person that you said was on the line? Mr. Deskins, did you say that someone else is on the line from the association?
Not from the association, sorry. The commissioner who's the liquor store is in.
That's other than Antoine Holmes?
That is correct. I see Commissioner Clark, the single member district commissioner for 7C06. She's also on the call, Ms. Victoria Clark.
Okay, so Ms. Clark, we would consider Ms. Clark to be a part of ANC 7C because, because ANC 7C is the protestant. Ms. Clark, would you please state your name and spell it for the record?
Hi, my name is Victoria Clark, V-I-C-T-O-R-I-A, Clark, C-L-A-R-K.
Okay, Ms. Clark, you will be considered a part of ANC 7C. You didn't file a protest, but you are a single member district representative in ANC 7C?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just noting for the record that the SMD did not file a protest. Mr. Deskins, your letter, your protest letter does not state that you gave the applicant at least 7-day notice to attend your hearing concerning the protest, and the applicant is not present to say whether he received notice or not. So here's what I'm going to do. First of all, the application has to be dismissed because the applicant is not present.
Mm-hmm.
That's first of all. The second thing, where the association is concerned, conditional standing is granted to the association because we don't know right now if that notice was given or not, but you will have an opportunity to provide the board with evidence that that 7-day notice was given if this case proceeds. At this point, the application has been dismissed. The applicant will have 10 days to seek reinstatement of the application upon receipt of the board order dismissing the application. If that happens, then you'll be contacted, Mr. Antoine, and the Civic Association will be contacted A status hearing will be scheduled, and you'll have an opportunity, Mr. Deskins, to show that the association provided at least 7-day notice to the applicant. And maybe he'll say you did. We don't know right now. So the Civic Association is granted conditional standing and the ANC is granted full standing. Any questions about that?
Yes, ma'am. So you said the application to dismiss, as in their application to continue having their liquor license?
Yes, so Mr. Deskins is speaking right now. Yes, Mr. Deskins, that means that the application to renew the license is dismissed. The applicant, because the applicant is not present today.
Okay.
The board will issue an order dismissing the application because the applicant is not here.
Mm-hmm.
And the applicant will have 10 days to seek reinstatement of the application, explaining to the board why he or she is not present today. And you'll be kept informed as to whether or not the board grants reinstatement of the application or not.
And that kept informed will be done via email?
You'll receive a copy of yes, it'll be done by email to answer your question.
Perfect. Okay. All right. Thank you.
And you'll receive a copy of the board order also.
Okay.
The board order dismissing the application.
Okay. Thank you.
And you'll be kept informed.
Okay, that
Mr.
sounds.
Holmes, you look like you want to say something.
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, you're very welcome. Okay, then any other questions, Mr. Deskins?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you. The roll call hearing in the matter of Max Liquors is concluded. And I will call the next case. I am calling the matter of O'Connor's Liquors. O'Connor's is spelled Oconnors. O'Connor's Liquor, Inc., 2900 Minnesota Avenue Southeast, license number ABRA 0600231. This is a retailer Class A license renewal. The protest issues an adverse impact on peace, order, and quiet. My name is Laverne Fletcher, conducting the roll call hearing as the board's agent. Is the applicant present?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Would you please state your name and spell it for the record?
First name is Byong, and last name is AHN.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else present with you today?
I'm his brother-in-law and an employee, and my name is Bruce, Bruce. Last name is Lee, Lee.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. And so you're present in support of your brother-in-law?
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure you're not an applicant. Okay, well, thank you very much. And the president on behalf of ANC 7B.
Hello, it's Tiffany L. Brown, chair of ANC 7B. My name is spelled Tiffany, middle initial L, last name Brown, Brown.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. Glad you got through.
So am I.
I was about to send you an invitation, but I see you were sent one.
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you for coming. ANC 7B does have standing as a protestant. We need to set a date for a mediation, a status hearing, and a protest hearing if that date is available today. Give me 1 second, please. Just a second.
Cut my camera off so I can look at my calendar.
Okay.
조금 아침에 해야 돼.
The status hearing is scheduled for July 15 at 10:30 a.m.
Is the earlier date available?
That's the next available day on the board's calendar.
No, I'm talking
if you-
the time.
The
What time
time,
did you say?
10:30 a.m. So that's the time of the status hearing. So who
That
is
time
that
is
not
good
a,
for me.
well, it's the only time there is.
Okay.
So
Well, then,
all status hearings are set at the same time. So all of the status hearings for that day are set for July 15 at 10:30 a.m. So it may not be at exactly 10:30.
Okay.
But who's not available at 10:30? Mr. An, are you available at 10:30?
So that's good. I'm
So
fine.
so Mr. Lee, it may not be at exactly 10:30, but they're just all set for 10:30. They don't take very long.
Okay. Okay.
So it's pretty
That's fine.
quick once
Yeah.
your case is called.
Okay. That's fine.
At the status hearing, the board only wants to know the status of the case.
Okay.
That's all they want to know at that stage. If there has been a mediation, you would report that there's been a mediation and whether or not the case was settled in mediation or not. That's it.
All right. Thank you. Mhm.
You're welcome. I will give you the next available day for mediation. The next available day for mediation is Friday, July the 2nd, but if that's too close to the
Yeah.
holiday,
Mhm.
we can do it on Thursday, July 8th, or Friday, July 9th.
Second is good
Thursday,
for me.
July 8th is good.
The 2nd is good?
Let me go back to my calendar to look at the 8th.
Okay. Mr. On, you have a preference for July 8 or 9?
July 8 is better.
July 8 is better? Okay.
Okay, that's fine as long as it's in the morning, but I think I'm gonna have to hop off now. So
Well,
as
what
long as it's-
about,
the 8th is fine as long as it's.
the 8th is fine. What
8.
about 10 o'clock in the morning of the 8th?
10 is good.
Is that good for you, Mr. On?
Yes.
Try something new. So certainly want to let you know.
Mediation
to
is set
celebrate these two
for,
milestones. We're going to have a list.
mediation is set for Thursday, July 8th at 10 o'clock a.m.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thank you. Very welcome. Any questions about that?
If with Miss Brown and Mr. An agreed upon the whatever the miscommunication, that everything should be okay. We don't need to show up for the mediation, right?
Yes, Mr. Lee, that is correct. If the matter can be resolved
Mm-hmm.
between the parties prior to mediation, you can let me know and the mediation would be canceled.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. And Miss Brown, Mr. An like to have a little.
Many months and many meetings and the countless.
Is it possible you give us a phone number or email address so we could contact you?
Ms. Fletcher, can you give them my email address? I'm getting ready to speak.
I will.
Okay, thank you.
You're very
No
welcome.
problem.
Mr. On,
Yeah.
I will give you Ms. Brown's email address. I'll send it to you.
Okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome. 1 second. I'm going to email it to you. Just making a note. 1 second. Mr. Lee, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Are you going to be participating in the mediation if there is one with Mr. On?
Oh, yes, I'll be, basically because of his language is sometimes limited. So I'm going to
Okay.
try to help him out with that part to make sure he
Okay.
understands completely what's going on.
Okay, that's fine. And you know, Mr. On, you also have the option of requesting an interpreter from us, but if you're good with Mr. Lee speaking on your behalf, that's fine with us.
Okay.
Thank you.
So you're okay with that, Mr. On?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay. I just made a note of that. And so, Ms. Brown? Well, I was only going to let Ms. Brown know that she would be communicating with Mr. Lee as well, but I'm sure she knows that already. Any questions at all?
Oh, that's it. Any question?
No.
No. Okay.
Okay, well, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
I'll
And
see
you
you soon.
okay. Thank
If the
you.
matter is resolved, I won't see you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, all right,
Bye-bye.
take care. I'm signing off. Okay, bye-bye. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.